It was dark. Pitch dark. First I felt nothing. As I tried to open my eyes, I realized I was laying on the ground. My eyes couldn't focus and the light really hurt. I had no clue where I was and what happened. I stared into a wild chaos of trees until it hurt so much that I had to close my eyes again. Well, doctor, I'm here because I feel very much trapped inside myself. It's like my hair started to grow inwards a few years ago and now it's clogging up my system. My wife says I need therapy and it's been getting worse and I've been very obsessed with crazy things lately. Yeah, I guess one example is from last July where I went on that insane adventure in the Pasayten wilderness up in Washington state. It's called the Cougar Traverse and it's right by the Canadian border. It's a huge 242-mile loop without any road crossings, no possibility to resupply, no easy bailout option. In fact, it's the longest uninterrupted wilderness route in the lower 48s. The usual fear and anxiety and uncertainty dominates every start. It's no different this time, perhaps even worse because there's so much uncertainty. Spreadsheets and maps are two of my other obsessions. I figured I could possibly do this traverse in 6 days if things went really well. I decided to pack food for 7 days, with about 5,000 calories per day. Just the food added up to 22 pounds, and with my base pack of 8 pounds, we're talking about a 30-pound pack at the start. Another one of those crazy climbs. That pack is killing me. Oh god. And I'm running low on food for day one. So. On the first day, I made it a meager 46 miles to Hopkins Lake. I expected this to be very challenging, but boy did I underestimate this beast. From Castle Pass to Ross Lake is not recommended due to bad trail conditions and thousands of logs on the trail. Yeah, I can confirm that indeed. Why? You're asking me why? Well, that's a great question. I was really hoping you could help me with that one. Perhaps it really is some sort of addiction, but let me tell you about day number 2. Well, that's when the real deal started. There wasn't much of a trail, lots of bushwhacking, and just endless trees. I spent an hour bushwhacking, didn't even make a mile. It's absolutely horrible. There's endless trees, no trail, hopeless. I have no power left in my tank. Grinding up some mountain, I can't do it. Horrible. The conditions and the terrain was so difficult that I only made it 35 miles on this day. I was desperate.
Nothing beats some trail butter at 3 o'clock. good morning. Day number 4. Had a horrible night. Everything was wet, it's freezing cold, and I am about to reach the other end of the loop. I call it the tipping point.
Day 3 was really good. I managed to get 52 miles in, but day 4 was going to be a disaster.
There's always some problem to fix, even at 4 o'clock in the morning. Apparently I just lost my entire Ziploc of sausages and bacon for today. So that's a couple hundred calories in the negative. There isn't really a need for explanation here. You get the idea. Surely this must end. Really great times. I'm having a blast. This is a lot of fun.
And then it happened. It was dark. Pitch dark. And then for a split second, I didn't pay attention and slipped on one of those wet trees. I was unable to slow down my fall and hit with full force another tree with my heavy pack on the back. I hit that tree so hard that I passed out. After the initial adrenaline was gone, the pain set in and I discovered I couldn't open my jaw properly. My vision was blurred and I couldn't hear properly. Only at home I realized that I had suffered a quite serious concussion, and it took me weeks until I felt somewhat normal again. What, you're saying I'm still not quite normal?
I literally lost hours bushwhacking. Now the trail is a little better, but I'm sure we'll connect to the next nightmare. There's no surprise there. Really, there hasn't been any surprise, except that whenever you think it can't be any harder, then it's just gonna be another notch up. I would say if there's a hell, it's right here. Right here, but I'm sure it can get worse. We'll find out. I think it's day number 5. This is not going well. I can't find a turn off. It's all wet, and I'm in pain. It's horrible. Worst experience, scrambling up in the dark at 4 o'clock some slope that was completely insane. I don't know what I'm doing. Clearly there's no trail, and there's never been a trail. Yeah, good times. More than 2 hours. Some of the toughest bushwhacking. And there's a trail that I missed. How is that possible? Let me tell you, this is not even type 3 fun. Maybe that brings me luck.
Well, it didn't. This moment, Doctor, you have to understand, was really my second time things went dark. As I was making my way down from a Schnolla Pass into the Lake Creek drainage area, I lost my GoPro camera. I tried to backtrack and find it, but it was completely hopeless. Not only had I lost several hours of unique footage, I would also not be able to document any of the remaining 63 miles. You've asked me about the why, Doctor, but I think that's just not the right question. I think the real question is, how much are you willing to sacrifice to get this amazing adventure done? In any case, at that moment, I had to finish it because there wasn't any shortcut. It took me more than a day because I had completely underestimated the last part, and there was an additional thousands and thousands and thousands of downed trees. And in addition, it rained cats and dogs. It was past 9 o'clock and pitch dark when I made it to the parking lot. I drove straight through the night back to Portland. I was home by 6 a.m., where I showered, then biked to work and met with my students for most of the day. They had no idea what crazy adventure I had just completed.
Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel.
His name was Nathan, not Emmanuel, and he's responsible for a little miracle. A month after I had lost it, he stumbled across my GoPro in the middle of nowhere. Somehow, he found me online and was able to return the camera.
Hero 5. And it's kind of beat up. And it's still got half its battery and it's recording me.
Oh look, there's even a bridge in the middle of this mess. How nice. Let me enjoy the bridge. Oh, I just realized. I just realized that I lost my... I think that shovel is a sign that somebody gave up here. Clearly hopeless. Also, I hope I make it till the very end, not just the shoes.